Well, look at what we have here. We got 5 people, which is almost half of 10. Pretty sweet. Today we're going to talk about the Snyder Cut. And we got a lot of opinions, and we haven't, we were hanging out before this live started, and we barely talked about it, so it's all going to be fresh. Unrehearsed, uncut, unedited, in your face.
Uncut.
Bigger, longer, and uncut.
All of your in a world. Yeah, okay. It's going to be awesome. But so I was thinking a fun way to format this would be if we just shat on it right out the gate. What do you guys think about that?
Sounds fun. I love shitting on things.
Are we doing other?
Okay.
I thought this was things to not shit on. No, I'm just kidding.
So we're gonna break it up into 3 portions here and try to bear with us. We're gonna say let's let some people fill in the chat first of all before we get into the good stuff. But the idea is that we're gonna talk about the things we didn't like, and then we're going to talk about the things that we did like, and then we're going to figure out a verdict on an individual basis on whether it was good or not. Do you want to come up with a rating system, Robo, Chris, Aramis? Impromptu rating system?
Out of 5 slow-mos, how many slow-mos would you slow-mo it?
The slow-mo scale, okay.
Jesus. Could have saved an hour of my life with that shit.
And now I see why it's 4 fucking hours.
The whole movie was slow-mo. It's actually a 20-minute movie.
Wait, let me get the
Can I
notes.
just jump in and say, did anyone else, did it feel to anyone else like he was like, Lord of the Rings, but DC? Like, that's what he was going for?
Yeah.
Right out the gate. In fact, during the battle with Darkseid, the flashback, I was actually watching that thinking I recognized some of the
Is that
the
not
guy,
Mr. Bean, the king? Whatever his
the guy
name is?
the guy who's supposed to throw the ring into Mount Doom and then he goes,
Mordor, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I swear I saw that guy.
What's his name?
Yeah.
It's Bean something. He's the dude from Game of Thrones too.
Oh, Sean Bean? No.
Yeah,
It wasn't
that's
him.
not him.
No. It wasn't him.
Fucking Batman would stop walking everywhere.
I know, right? Horse
just
riding
constantly
over the
walking.
mountain and shit. Why?
All right.
Let's do this.
I just want to say that there was one particular scene that actually really bothered me.
What was that?
It was the scene with the Flash saving Iris.
Oh,
was
yes!
uncomfortable.
That whole scene was a fucking mess. I agree. Tell me why you thought that.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get into that one.
You know, Iris gets in the car accident, and then she flies out the windshield.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, Barry does his thing, he stops time, and he's going to go save the girl. That's what one would do in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But what he does, he stops time, and he goes touch her hair. It's so creepy. And then he decides to grab a hot dog from the air
That's
and
right.
put it into his pocket.
Without the bun, and there was a perfectly good bun floating right next to him.
No, he was giving the dog's not going to eat the buns. He knew what he was doing at that point. So look here. I'm going to play devil's advocate. It was creepy, but I'm just going to do it just for the sake of entertainment here. I noticed something in that scene though. I was like, he's not gonna touch her face. Don't touch her face. Don't touch her face. Don't touch her face. And it's like
He grabs the hot dog and shoves it in her mouth.
he's like
Throws a handful of them like.
He just kind of puts it near her mouth, not actually in it. No, but when I noticed in the scene, for real, he moves her hair out of the way. It's not like he rubs it or. So, he doesn't he's just kind of I can't see your face right now. Wow, you are kind of let me just move this real quick. I'm not touching you. Look, and then wow, you're really hot. And then he goes, and then I'm gonna let me grab this thing for the dogs, and then he saves her. I think it was all right.
That wasn't. I think I had a problem with it. It wasn't just because it could be seen as creepy, but it was also because this is a life and death situation. It's not fuck around time. You know what I mean?
If you're the Flash, it's absolutely fuck around time.
It's always fuck around time.
The only thing that separates fuck around time or not is how much time you have. And that motherfucker got all the time in the world.
That's right.
He didn't even have to run to the street. He just
Okay, fair.
He could have taken a shot first.
I still think you should have taken it more seriously, but whatever. Fair. Fine.
I mean, it was a hottie, man. He needed to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I really liked about this movie is the fucking Amazonians.
I
The
did
ones
love that.
holding up the wall, I was impressed before, and I was impressed this time. That's
So
fucking sick.
Scene. Yeah.
So I set my notes, and I just squealed like a little girl there. I set my notes on the things I liked and things I didn't. And on the top of the things I
Thanks,
liked
Danny.
list was I really enjoyed Steppenwolf just body checking horses as he was beating up Amazonians.
It's so funny you bring that up because that's like one of the things that I strongly dislike about any battle scene. It's like every war before World War One, what do they all have in common? Is that it's the horses lose. No matter what war, the horses have lost every war prior to World War One.
Horse lives matter.
It's probably because I'm a terrible person, but I laughed audibly when you just started body checking horses.
Hey, you said you live in the sticks, right? Right, Chris?
Yeah, I've been around horses. I've been trampled by a horse before. Like, they don't fuck around.
So for you, it's personal.
Too? Have you went hunting before? I imagine.
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not real. You're not real country then.
Yeah. I'm like the only one in my family that doesn't do that shit.
I just feel like there's like this I will even go so far as to say unreasonable. Like I am absolutely unreasonable my oversensitivity towards that stuff. But in this scene, I was just like CGI horse, CGI horse, CGI horse. And so once my brain was like not a real horse, then I'm with you. Like usually I don't like seeing that shit, but it was like so obviously CGI'd where I was like, throw that motherfucking horse. You know?
The invention of the motor engine is the best thing that's ever happened to horses.
100%.
100%. Like, man, if they ever become sentient, like, and can speak and like keep track of things, like their calendar, they're gonna celebrate that day every single year. Is like, this is.
And to show how fucked up the human race is, we invented these things to get the horses out of there, and yet there's still parts of the army where they ride horses into battle in front of the tanks. Because.
I think we're forgetting that Skyrim horses can fly.
This is true. Have you ever seen them climb a mountain? It's crazy shit, man.
Oh, yeah. Skyrim horses. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. They can fly, so why don't the Amazonians have them?
That's right.
Why are they still using... One of my least favorite movie thing. Actually, it's not my least favorite. I like it. But one thing that is just annoying, irks me, is there's no world where bow and arrow is better than gun. Like, bow and arrow is never going to be better than a fucking gun. Like, if all those Amazonians had AKs, it might not have made a big difference, but it still would have been better than fucking bing, bing, all out, you know? Like,
how big?
Well, meanwhile,
is that island, though? Like,
I was gonna say, meanwhile, the Atlanteans have these like laser pistols, so it's like,
yeah.
What the fuck happened
but
there?
It kind of makes sense when you look at like resources, right? Like to take this comment way too seriously. The Amazonians have the entire 70% of the entire planet at their disposal, right? All the oil and minerals and everything at their disposal. The Amazonians have, I don't think the Industrial Revolution has quite hit that island just yet. And then like the factories that you'd have to have for the metals and all this shit, like, you know, gunpowder. And that's what happens when you isolate yourself like that.
Let's talk about slow motion for a second.
But wait, I want to say something real quick about the arrows though. Why in every movie, same thing happens with Godzilla. You said bows and arrows.
Bow and arrow.
I'm gonna throw 7,200 bow and arrows, not the bows too. I don't know if they threw the bows, but at least the arrows, right? And then like it's like tink, 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 tink. Nah,
better
this
keep
is the
shooting.
one though. This is the one. That doesn't do anything, you know. And then they do the same thing to Godzilla. Like, look, me and you both in the service. I'm imagining a situation where it's like, okay, time to return fire. It's probably not going to take more than like maybe one mag. I'll go through a whole mag. I'm like, all right, we got to go. This is not. We got to get the fuck out.
I feel like it's like the bad guy shooting at Superman.
Yes.
It's just like, it's doing nothing, but you know you're fucked either way. Why not just unload a clip?
There's a concept I know Robo's aware of called suppression, where you're not really trying. You're like, you kill them, great. You hit them, that's great. But what you're really trying to do is like get their heads down or make them distracted in some way or make them not able to immediately attack you.
That was not happening with
I think that's what they were going for, but yeah, you're right. It wasn't very effective. Unless apparently Aquaman's spear or his trident is able to actually pierce that moving armor, which I'm going to talk about in the things I liked section. But slow-mo, there's a lot of slow-mo in this movie. A lot of like, how long is this movie without slow-mo, do you think?
70
Someone's
Uh,
gonna do that math.
It's like
We
7
save an
minutes.
hour.
Wow. Wow.
About 11 minutes.
Is that no shit? Are you saying that like you already saw that somewhere, or
11 minutes, yeah.
11 minutes of that we
wow.
can? Okay.
You're so believable, Robo.
Yeah, no. Look it up.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah, you don't believe me? The fuck? I'm just gonna make that shit up.
There's some slow-mo I like, and then there's some where I was like, oh Jesus, can we just get this fucking scene over with? Like,
What did you not like from slow mo? Like what did you like and not like?
I think there's a scene where this Amazonian is reaching out to like touch the box, and it's like just seemed like that moment took forever. I don't know if that was in slow-mo. That's just the first thing that came to my mind. And then like one Flash scene in slow-mo is cool, maybe two, but there had to have been at least 4 or 5 Flash and slow-mo scenes where I was like, okay, running around Superman. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Well,
I think
to be fair, to be fair, slow mo is kind of the Flash's thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the only way to yeah.
Yeah, but less Flash is a good thing. So
Oh shit.
Wow.
no, I was gonna say I think what I felt with it was that he doesn't use the time properly. Like it feels like it's drawn out for the sake of being drawn out, not like you can use slow-mo properly, and he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Like when he's running down the thing to touch the cube or the mother box before it hits the liquid. Like I agree that should be in some slow-mo, but it was like that was a 5-minute run. That's how it felt. And then it was cool to see the reversing and like, oh shit, Flash can break the time barrier, but that all could have been handled so much faster. It just
You know what's funny about
my watch, you know.
And Aramis, just to be less of a dick, for me personally, not you. When X-Men Apocalypse came out and we had the Quicksilver scene, we had the one scene where he did that awesome sequence and we all fell in love with Quicksilver, and we didn't see Quicksilver again unless he was standing there looking cool. Like that's what the Flash is to me. Like he needs to be in one, like just one, maybe 2 scenes, and then he's a bit player from there. But like I'm not a big fan of the Flash. I got over that TV show quick, and I think they fell into that feeling of like we just need to do something cool and slow motiony with Flash for here. So that's where I was going with that comment.
Yeah, I think
that's understandable.
I think that's the big DC problem, though. I think a big DC problem is the whole like, how do we handle characters that we made super OP? And that's why you had to have scenes where I'm the Flash, everything's happening in slow motion. The concept of tripping doesn't even fucking make sense, because it's like if I get up really slow from my desk and my foot hits something, I'm gonna go, oh, there's something in the way. Let me step over it. So that's pretty much time for him. Yet they need to make him trip and fall and get knocked out because he's OP. You got to do something.
They didn't follow the Speed Force rule. Like, I'm not even talking about Speed Force in the comics, but they didn't follow their own rules in the movie. Like, he's going light speed, faster than the speed of sound, to tip that sword, the sword back to Diana. And we're in speed territory. Like, everything's slow motion. Sword goes back in like slow motion, and then she just like wraps her hand around it. It's like she must have wrapped her hand around it at fucking light speed.
She's also super fast though. He's not traveling at light speed, because he doesn't do that until he's breaking the time barrier. But she's also super fast. But you're right. There are a couple of situations where, and it's that power balance thing where it's like they put a little bit of fake physics in it, meaning if he's at super fast mode and he kind of just, all he has to do is tap me, I should go flying. And some bad guys, that's what happened. But other things, it doesn't. Like when he tapped that sword, it should have fucking went through Wonder Woman's face. Like, boom. Oh shit. Oh, damn, I fucked that up. But what do you think about the slow-mo, Ree?
I was just going to ask you guys a question, actually. Do you think it needed to be 4 hours long?
No.
I think it needed to be like maybe 2 hours long, maybe 3 hours long. I feel like the last half hour was just like Zach trying to get it in. Like it didn't even fit in the movie. He was just like, "Oh, I have this much money."
Society.
Right. Just throwing shit in. I thought the Justice League Apocalypse War or Darkseid War teaser.
Yeah.
I thought that was like not good. I thought Jared Leto Joker blows. I'm sorry. Like I hate to be a negative Nancy, but he's fucking trash as the Joker.
That's pretty shit.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm getting like I was getting visibly mad when people are just like this forgives all the sins of Jared Leto Joker, and I'm just like, no, it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't.
In fact, it makes
Jared
them
Leto
worse.
Joker sucks.
We used to be able to blame like the shitty tattoos and like just his stupid appearance, but now we can't even blame that because he looks like classic Joker, and he still blows.
He's doing a bad Heath Ledger impression.
A bad one, yeah, and he didn't tell any jokes. No jokes. Like
he told one good joke about the reach around.
I didn't.
I can always appreciate a good reach around joke.
So I'm glad you brought that up. I had missed some things before it. I didn't realize Batman was talking about Harley Quinn at one point. I missed it. I think I looked at my phone or something, and then and so I rewound it and I heard it again. And both times, like if I made a joke like that, I'm like, yeah, and who else is gonna butt fuck me, right? And then it's like somebody else goes, like, what? Like, oh, like you're fucking get some sort of reaction. If I said to Judah, I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, if you go, who else is gonna butt fuck me? And Judah's like, Other people are gonna look at that and go, are they fucking? Are they actually fucking? Like the way that Batman's reaction was to who else is gonna give you a reach around? It's like Batman's like, he almost had a face of like, why would you bring up personal shit? Why would you not? Why would you just say that in front of everybody like that?
Zach missed a golden opportunity to, instead of invoking Apocalypse War or Darkseid War or whatever it is, if he had invoked Last Night on Earth and Jared Leto's entire Joker scene was his head in like a fucking carrier, like that would have been awesome.
I think that's what they were going for, because like I did like how even in the end when it's Joker and Batman, they still had that dynamic of like Joker's Batman's best friend, whether they're going to admit to it or not. That's what they are.
That's right.
And they still had that kind of back and forth, even if it was through bad dialogue. And I did enjoy that sequence. But
peace out, Danny.
Thanks for swinging by.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It was just a waste. It was like not part of the movie. And then the Martian Manhunter thing at the very end, and that I kind of dug that. It was cool to see Martian Manhunter. It would have been cooler to see Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart. I'm just saying. But
it would have been a lot cooler to see Martian Manhunter actually fight.
Yeah, right. Why wouldn't he join the fight? You know what I mean? He knew.
Look,
he knew it was
that
happening.
No name Green Lantern that got like wrecked in 0.7 seconds. So what more do you want?
What did you think of the pacing overall? Like, did you think it was decent or too slow? Or
sometimes I really liked it. There was a steady, like, I know we're talking shit right now. There was a steady dose of things where I was like, oh, sweet. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. But there was also like a lot of parts, like especially any scene involving Martha. Like, and I have to agree with Chris on this. Any scene involving Lois and Martha was just like, let's get to it. Let's get to like another part of the
Martha.
Movie. Yeah.
I can see the movie in here. I can see the 2.5, maybe 2:45 movie in here. That's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to completely shit on this because I did enjoy it more than I thought I would. But
Same.
I can definitely see where the theatrical cut is in here. And there's a lot of, like you said, just Snyder just going, well, what the fuck? Let's just do it, guys, and throwing it out there.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, here's
Since we're talking
$72
about
billion.
the,
Go for it. What were you
since we're
saying,
talking about the pacing, can we bring up the fact that the first 5 minutes of the film were nothing but Superman's death scream?
there's a lot of screaming. It was pretty intense.
Yeah. What's that like Middle Eastern chant music that they do every time like there's a slow motion scene involving Wonder Woman? Like
yeah, like
and she's like,
The Halo 4 sound and music.
You know what that's going to be edited into, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah. like,
Saving us a lot of time.
Then she's holding 2 axes, but she's like twirling the axes.
you know that
out.
scene where she's
And
like
then
holding
Zack
those
Snyder,
axes?
and then Zack Snyder has to put the shit in slow mo because everything's slow.
And then the one thing that I fucking my favorite parts of the whole movie, and I mean this like number one favorite parts, are any parts where they play the Wonder Woman theme song while she's fighting.
Fuck
Like-
yeah.
Tell me that Wonder Woman fight scene was different. It was, right? Because I didn't.
It
watch
was.
the other one.
It was different.
That was fucking badass.
It was incredible.
My
The
favorite
bank
part of
scene.
the whole thing.
The
So-
bank scene was fucking phenomenal. Like from the
I
moment
loved
you
it.
see her up on the thing, and then it's slow
Yep.
motion.
Yep.
Good slow motion. That was a good slow motion.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say they slowed down a couple times, and it was like, but it was all perfect. The staring at
Man.
the bullets, and then speeding it up to like I'm like,
I was in hype
I
mode
fucking
during that
love
part.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, this is the best Snyder Cut I've ever seen, you know? And then there's a part like when I think the best action, like besides that Wonder Woman scene, which is the best part of the whole movie, I agree with Robo. The best Justice League action scene, I think, is definitely the underground fight.
yeah.
And they did one thing that I've loved. They got rid of that stupid Flash subplot where he's like, I don't know if I can fight. I don't know. And Batman's like, just save one person. And I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
they got rid of that. They just axed that whole
That made
stupid
me
ass
want to beat off
thing.
too.
Yeah, it just made me want to beat off. You know? But in a bad way, like a sad beat off. Like,
Oh man, again. Yeah.
they got rid of that, and they added Wonder Woman music to that scene. I swear, like when she jumps out, she's like fucking, like goes right in. Like
I thought
they
the
add, like,
sound, now that you're bringing that up, like the sound, you know how, what's the other like movie I'm thinking of where there's a team and they're really specific? I'm thinking of Defenders, I think, where like that series where everyone has a color scheme and
yeah.
like a theme and
The
music and
soundtrack.
stuff. It kind of felt like that in this, watching it. Like every time Superman showed up, he had a specific sound, and I just thought the sound design in it was pretty good
yeah,
because he changed a lot of music, right?
he did.
Yeah.
It was totally different.
I think when you go back to pacing, and I'm glad you brought up music because that's kind of the thing that I liked, but
Yeah.
eventually got old, right? And I think he did the same
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
with
I
the
gotcha.
music and the big thematic kind of like orchestra / some like
The-
70s
Sounded like
cover.
Mandalorian. Go.
Yeah, there was just a lot of like the stuff, but here's the deal though, it's like okay, do it once. I'm like, damn, that's kind of dope. I like that. I like the feel. I like the you know when they kind of mute everything and you only hear the music. I'm like, all right, and then
Yeah.
it's like, all right, cool. Next character, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm like, oh, you did that with the last guy too. All right, this is cool.
keeps
And then
going.
you're gonna keep
Yep.
doing that, and like I'm like. Oh, stop with the fucking music, okay? We got it. You're fucking super artsy. This is the fucking best.
I would say axe every part that involves that like chanting music, that prayer song while Wonder Woman's in slow motion, like totally
The
takes
Halo
like
4
the
music.
like the. I'm not doing it again, but yeah, you know. What I'm
Do you
talking
know
about.
what I liked is those chicks singing when fucking old mate
yes.
goes into the ocean.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah,
That was
I like
cool.
that.
But I will say this. I would be remiss as the brown dude on the show to say that the dude is all over the world, right? All over the fucking planet, following the King's Tide, and he's
Yep.
helping all these people. And Zack Snyder goes, I'm gonna take the Polynesian actor with Polynesian tattoos with like this Polynesian kind of thing going on, and I'm gonna go to the widest fucking part of the entire planet. That's where I'm gonna put it. I'm like, okay. But that scene was pretty dope, though.
That woman
That's
that
like-
sang, the woman who looked at the camera and sang, that's the whitest person I've ever seen. I've never seen someone that white.
Yeah.
I'm
She's
glad
like-
I don't have my camera on right now.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Oh shit!
Great. Now that part of my monitor is burnt out.
Every time.
So I guess we're in the part where we're talking about things we like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
What'd you
say,
like?
compared to let's just call it the Whedon cut, compared to that, I really enjoy what they did with Darkseid and all the acolytes of Apocalypse. Like, they actually made sense, and I actually saw more motivation behind Steppenwolf, especially when he's body checking horses. But like him, what he's doing, and him talking to Saad and all those things, those gave me really good feelings of what this could have been. Because let's be real, we're never going to see Justice League 2.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed that he brought more of that into this movie, as opposed to the Whedon version, where I was like, okay, why is Steppenwolf here?
Yeah.
That's right.
I really loved Steppenwolf in this, and I liked his like living, breathing armor that was constantly like,
Yeah, that was sweet.
moving. Yeah, I liked Darkseid.
rad.
I know we all thought Darkseid looked shitty in the trailer,
No, it was
but I
good.
thought he
I
was cool.
Yeah, he was all right.
And I also like that we didn't have that stupid backstory with those people that lived in Russia or whatever.
Oh yeah, just axed him.
Like, just get rid of them. There was no reason for them to be there to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's some Whedon tomfuckery right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
I think
I liked Willem Dafoe setting up the Aquaman movie.
Oh, William Dafoe, the guy who is like breathes underwater, like raised underwater, is everything's underwater, but let's make air bubbles so we can talk. that guy? Is that the guy?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're on things we like. Okay, got it.
Imagine if Willem Dafoe had a kid with Steve Buscemi somehow. Imagine how ugly that kid would be.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. He might have a beautiful soul though.
I mean, I'm standing right here.
on the outside.
He might have a beautiful soul on the outside.
Yeah, that kid would have to have a great personality for sure.
Aramis, I'm with you. I love Willem Dafoe so fucking much. Every time he shows up, I'm like, this is a good time.
I love the Aquaman stuff in this, and it like brings me sadness because I didn't enjoy the Aquaman movie. And the stuff that they did with Aquaman here, aside from the stupid bubble things, like, why are we doing this? But everything they did in Atlantis or underwater, everything was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, William Dafoe is fantastic. So I loved it, but it also made me sad that I'm just like, oh, it sucks the Aquaman movie couldn't have been that good.
They took out the backflop
Okay, here's
of,
the thing.
of Aquaman.
Here's the thing about the Aquaman movie. The Aquaman movie had the octopus on the drums, which is the greatest thing ever in a movie.
Wait, say that again?
The octopus on the
movie-
drums.
The octopus on the drums, which is the greatest thing any movie has ever done.
Talk about the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little confused here too. I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
Was
yeah,
I just
I got it.
something when that was going on?
It was on the bellies of the turtles. That's what it was. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about what's the dude's name? Come on, somebody help me out. It's an octopus that starts with a T. And in all the New 52, they change him into this fucking like beast mode Kraken thing, and so that was pretty dope. I like the retcon of that. And then now he's like, he hasn't been seen yet in the comics, so I don't know what's happening with. Every time I saw an octopus on screen, I'm like, oh, they're gonna do the thing. No, it's just an octopus flying by. Okay, never mind. But I'm with you. I would have liked to see an octopus playing the drums.
I like how there was no like every single character was fully realized. Like Joss really used a lot of time in establishing every character. Like Cyborg, I think
in particular was so much better this time around. Yep.
You could watch the movie through Cyborg's perspective, and it's a movie about him. You could watch the movie through.
It would be a bad movie.
It would be a bad movie, right? But what I'm saying is, like, they gave and Gail. I was surprised to see how much Gail Simone loved this movie, but that was one of the things I agree with her on is that like they really pursued every single character's like beginning, middle, and end for this movie, which is probably part of the reason why it was 4 hours. But I thought it was cool.
I actually, to kind of go back to things I don't like, one thing that really bugged me is when you look at this in the overall DC extended universe that no longer exists, we still lose a fundamental thing in this where Superman was never what he is seen in this movie. He's not this optimistic figure that everybody looks up to, and he's done all these great things. He did one thing, and he killed a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not the gleaming beam of hope that he's made out to be. So I don't think we earned that moment, even though it was super cool to see the death of Superman on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was barely in this one. He's like barely a part of the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. It's like they don't really earn his friendship with Batman, which doesn't even exist when he dies. But like for some reason, Batman like feels all this regret for whatever reason.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah.
It doesn't feel justified. I get what you're saying. Like, we don't really see the build up to that.
Polly in the chat, there was something humorous. I've said it 4 times now. Steppenwolf body checked some horses.
That's right. And the Joker's reach around reference. Boom. That's 2 jokes. We're at 2.
We got you.
Yeah.
His reach around reference where Batman was like,
Good point.
I do like
All
it
right,
when
guys,
Batman.
let's get out of here.
I like it when Batman says the F word when he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," or like, what did he say?
Yeah. And believe me, I will fucking kill you. It's like, holy shit.
But he says it like a kid who's like saying it for the first time around his friends. Like he's pretending like he says it all the time, but we know the audience is supposed to be shocked. He's like, I will fucking kill you. I said F word.
Yeah, there were at least 3 notable F words in that movie.
I still get really uncomfortable though every time I see Batman holding a gun of any sort.
Mm-hmm.
Like the grappling gun, fine. Batman animated series, I love that show. But like when he's got an assault rifle in his hand, I'm just like, what? That's not Batman.
What? That's not.
Who
Batman.
is that?
Or like a grenade launcher, or a shotgun, or whatever. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, like
Go ahead.
Did you get a good look at that grappling gun though? Remember the scene where it falls on the ground and you see it on the edge of the bridge?
Yeah.
It was nice. Like it had like a wood handle. Like I was like, damn, that is nice.
I'm expecting like some tie back to this. Like, I don't know if you guys know.
No, it was
That's
just
the same gun
it,
from Batman the Animated Series.
Shit.
No. I just liked how
it was like the craftsman was like really
like very well crafted. It had like it looked like it was made by Breitling or something. It had like a nice wooden
I
handle.
don't know what the
and,
fuck Breitling is.
it's to be fair, Robo, it was
Fancy
based
watch.
a little bit after animated series. It
yes.
definitely was. When you look at it side by side, it's like, yeah, they took liberties, make it more realistic and grim dark, but yeah, it's based after that.
Yeah. I just like making fun of Judah.
I know, it's fun.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
It's character building. Don't worry about it.
What's that one GIF with the girl that she's like smiling? I love when they make fun of me on live YouTube.
The Apple such a fucking mess. It was just like, what's going on? When is this movie going to end? The epilogue. So like at the end, there was there were chapters. The last chapter was the epilogue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was like, oh, here's the Martian Manhunter like showing up randomly with Bruce Wayne. Oh, here's that weird future part that I guess is supposed to make us excited about more Snyder movies that aren't going to happen. Here's all this other random shit. It was like, why? Why?
Can somebody explain to me, anybody, what was the point in like Hell World? Like, what is that?
Oh, the Nightmare?
Yeah, Nightmare. What is it? Is that gonna tease something, or is like, hey, you want to see what it'd be like if like Superman was bad and teamed up with Darkseid? All right, we'll give you like 10 minutes, guys.
When Darkseid finds okay, you want to do it? Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, in terms of like the overall movie, I just feel like that was at one point supposed to be Batman sees a vision of the future that was like, if we don't do something, this is what fucking happens, everybody. And he kind of changed it into, no, Darkseid gets the anti-life equation, and then the whole Injustice video game comes true, and Superman goes crazy. So I feel like it was out of place in the fact that it doesn't feel like it was meant to be there in that point in the movie. It should have been much earlier when Batman's like, holy shit, I need to get the team together.
So if Darkseid gets a hold of Anti-Life, he can turn anyone into a minion, basically. That's like one of the powers that Anti-Life grants him.
I saw that. I know that. My point was like the point of the scene in general, meaning like The Joker kind of like alluded to it. It was like, I wonder how many timelines that blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, like now we know there's timelines, and I feel like he alluded to that on purpose. Like, so now we're watching a timeline, and in this timeline, this is what happens, and it's like if it doesn't tie to another show or a sequel or some spin-off or something,
So
then I'm like, whoa.
I can answer that with speculation, so pure speculation. But
No,
I think
I want facts. Or don't
I
say
think that
shit.
I think that if they restored the Snyder verse, which is that what people say now? If they hashtag restored the Snyder verse, I think that Snyder's next Justice League movie would start in Darkseid dystopian future and would involve time travel to undo, basically. Like I feel like that would be the start of the movie would be like Darkseid finally came and everything got fucked, and then Batman is like we got to go back in time. And
I'm not gonna lie.
Got fucked.
I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
all
If the
because
entire
there's
Justice
one
League
guy.
2 was the whatever this new Justice League is trying to find the cosmic treadmill, I'm in.
yeah,
Just for the fact there's a cosmic treadmill.
that would be dope. I love the idea of the cosmic treadmill, the Speed Force treadmill, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. There was just so much shit at the end, and then Harley just died off camera. Okay, and Joker's there. Why the fuck are they letting Joker hang out with them?
I mean,
Because
that's what
we just
Deathstroke
need
was
him.
saying. He's like, why is he here?
Why is he here? Good question, Deathstroke.
Mhm.
Sometimes writers like to put things in movies because they're like, hey, this is what the audience is going to be asking, so let's have a character ask it. What the fuck is this dude doing here? Like, don't worry about it. Just trust me.
Don't worry about it. It's part of the movie. A Legion of Doom assemble scene, for lack of a better name, on the boat, I thought was cool. I liked it. And I loathe Eisenberg Luthor with a passion. He's just pure trash. Garbage. But I did like that scene. I like villain team-ups, and that's one of the areas where the MCU is lacking. Villain team-ups. So if DC could get an edge on the villain team-up, that would be a major improvement. So
I agree with you in Batman v Superman, but the Luthor we end up getting by the end of Justice League, I'm not gonna say I like, but I don't actively despise. So I will say that what I like there is that there was a world where Affleck was going to do a Batman movie, and it was going to be Batman versus Deathstroke, which would have been way cooler than sparkly Batman. And that sets up that movie for what it is. And once again, my biggest problem with this movie as a whole is that all I see is a bunch of setups for things I'm never going to see. But I'm just like, wow, that would have been cool.
it could happen. I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna happen or even likely, but it could happen.
Well, they put in the thing, right? They've already made the announcement that this is not canon. So the future movies are not going to reference this movie. This is just the Snyder Cut.
And it's like they got all, even if you take all the side movies, like they were going to do an Adam movie and they were going to do a Batman movie. Like there's already a Batman movie and it has Robert Pattinson. Like that's Batman now. So they're never, and they're never going to do Affleck Batman.
That's right.
Like even if Snyderverse comes back and they do Justice League 2, which is a fucking crazy thing that may never happen, I don't feel like we'll get those movies anyways. Like we'll never get the Deathstroke versus Batfleck movie.
The movies with no payout. That's how I felt about New Mutants. It was like I enjoyed New Mutants enough to be sad that it was like, well, that's it.
Yeah,
it's a really cool kind of cool movie, and that was that. So no, I hear you on that. Ree was we were all more or less in the camp of like fuck the Snyderverse, fuck the Snyder Cut, shut the fuck up, right? And I think a lot of us were pleasantly surprised. But my favorite tweets about the Snyderverse came from my good friend Respawn. And there was a certain level of like flavor, like this little pizzazz to the fury of for the whole thing. Did this movie change your mind at all?
That's a really good question. I don't think so. It's like not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I liked it. I didn't anticipate liking it. But was it worth $70 million? And also, like, this guy has had so many chances.
Mhm.
It's not like it's just this movie that he's made in the DCU. Like, he's had fuck up after fuck up, and he still gets 70 million to retry. Like, that to me is so unfair when there's so many indie directors who could have done amazing movies for $10 million. You could have hired 7 of those. You know what I mean?
That's a very good point. The only reason that doesn't like necessarily sway me too much is because were they going to spend that money? If there was no Snyder Cut, were they going to spend that money on indie flicks?
Probably not.
Yeah, so
Probably not.
that's.
I think
But
the
still,
only
it
pass
is a
I'll
fair
give the only pass I'll give Snyder on all this is that I do, I feel genuinely bad for a person I don't know, probably will never meet, for what happened to him during the original filming. Like, that whole incident, terrible, and I wish it never happened to begin with, because no one deserves to go through that. But I also was kind of wish that Warner had enough to be like, hey, how about we just shut down production for a little bit, guys? Like, let's
That's
let
exactly
Zach go
it.
through his thing, and then he
Yeah.
can come back when he's ready. No, we're going to bring in douchebag Whedon and make an even worse movie.
I agree. I think that whole thing was a dick move on the studio's behalf.
I mean, to be fair, though, they probably brought in Whedon because of his success with the Avengers. They're like, he can do a superhero team movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It definitely wasn't it definitely wasn't a not smart move, even though it turned out to be a disaster. But without knowing that the movie was going to be a disaster, it wasn't a dumb move. But it was a shit move.
I will disagree with you. I think it was a dumb move, and this is why.
Really? Okay.
Whedon is the Avengers movies, and most of what Whedon's done, very bright, very, a lot of good jokes and upbeat and everything. And what's Snyder known for? Black, dark, gritty, and no flavor to it. So how about we bring in the guy that's the exact opposite from the guy we hired?
That's right.
Just because, he made those cool Avengers movies. Like,
yeah,
that's the only reason I think it was a stupid move to begin with.
Who did Ragnarok?
That was
Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, they should have brought him in after Zack Snyder. That would have been
Definitely.
good.
They should have brought in M. Night Shyamalan.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Yeah, well, they kind of did, just with more music and slow motion.
Yeah. Like, at the end, Superman's been dead this whole time.
Like, that's what it was. That's what the ending was. The nightmare scene was like, that was all a dream. This is
all a dream.
Yeah.
So in the chat, I'm seeing Not Near Mint talking about the screen ratio. What did you guys think about the square?
I forgot
I
about it
didn't
after a while.
understand it. Why would Zack Snyder be like, you know what this movie needs? A smaller screen. I don't get the thought process there.
My brain adapted, and I seen a lot of hate for it. And you know what I could respect? It's kind of like music. Like I'm not into music theory. I'm not trained in music. I don't know how to hear certain things. So sometimes people don't like certain things that they're trained to hear. So if you're like a film buff and you're like super into film, and like maybe that bothers you and it stayed bothering you, I guess when it comes to film, my brain is dumb enough to go, okay. I didn't even notice.
So
that movie was so long that it actually burned out part of my screen, though. Yeah. That's the problem. It damaged my TV.
See, so I know at least one other person here is old enough to remember this. I'm not going to ask the other people on age, but there was a time when our TVs were square and they were curved at the front of it, and we put this thing called a VHS into a tape player.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. I'm like 21, so.
I'm not asking, Ree. It's not polite to ask.
Like 18 years old, so.
But no, we used to buy widescreen then and be like, well, why is it black on top? It doesn't make any sense. I remember my dad being like, well, that's the way it's supposed to fucking be. Like, what?
Yeah.
Shut up, you stupid kid.
Yeah.
And now all of our TVs are widescreen, so why would we go back? And I agree with you that my brain adjusted, but it adjusted, then I would like at moments go back to and be like, wait, why the fuck is it in 4:3? Like, what is happening?
Right.
And then I get used to it again, and then I go back. And part of that's the film editor in me, and part of it's just the fact that we've lived in this world, like where I haven't had to deal with that aspect ratio in God knows how long.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like even The
Miracle Man-
Simpsons is in widescreen now. Everybody.
Miracle Man, it's actually the aspect ratio for me, and really the movie just kind of slapped anyway. So I don't know why you're calling me old. No. So did I do it right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Now you got to say that we can't wear skinny jeans or have a side part anymore.
Middle part.
Oh, I also got told I'm old because I use laughing emojis.
Yes.
Unironically.
Like
Sad.
I wanted to blow my brains out the other day because I was going through the comments and like somebody, and it was a shit person, right? It was like some shitty fucking shit person on comment, and then like, yeah, right. Here's my super witty comeback, and then they use a laugh react. So I'm like, stupid bitch. He's fucking shitty takes over here, and then everybody sort of like, oh my god, the fucking crying laugh react. I'm like, you are old as fuck. Fuck you. What are you even doing here? And I'm like. I can't breathe. Someone give me a plastic bag so I can kill myself.
So my
You
moment
have
where
to
I
die
realized I was getting old actually ties back to Justice League, because when they did that original trailer, and it was what was the Beatles song they did for it? Come Together. And I remember my critique of it at the time was just like, the trailer's okay, but that song's stupid. Like, who does this crappy version of a Beatles song? And my co-host Mike on Fortress Comic News, shameless plug.
Get him, follow.
He just looks at me and goes, "Dude, it's Jack White." And I looked at him back like, "Who the fuck is Jack White?"
Yeah.
And he kind of shakes his head and he goes, "I didn't realize you were 50 years older than me, but he's this guy from this band." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. You know, that's funny. Mylene, she's in the chat. She literally does that all the time. There'll be like a cover or something like that. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's like a country song. She's like, no, stupid. That's Drake. I'm like, no, that's a country song from like the 80s. And then she's like, oh my God, no, look, watch it here. And I'm like, oh, do you know what a sample is? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we go back and forth all the time like that.
Is anything original these days?
No.
That's the real question.
Literally.
No,
not.
nothing.
Yeah. Man, this movie was gloomy. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, it was.
I like dark and gritty though, so that was
You
never.
like dark and gritty?
Yeah.
I like the part when they're all looking through the portal at Darkseid, and it's like, oh fuck, that's our next big enemy. And he's like,
Yeah.
who are these members of this Justice League that just destroyed Horse Slammer? So
Yeah.
pretty-
Hammerhead dude with the
Yeah.
horns.
yeah.
If they had put his eyes on the end of those horns, would have been way better.
Yeah,
Horse
that'd be
Slammer?
so cool.
Can
I
we
would love
trademark?
that.
Can we trademark Horse Slammer? Because I think that's my favorite villain name ever.
That's actually what they used to. Never mind.
Okay,
Judah,
it's your favorite
I
adult
was
actor,
going
actually.
along this joke, and I'm like, this is gonna be hilarious. And then somewhere along the road, they're like, hey, don't do that. I'm like, oh shit, never mind. Stop, never mind.
Judah, have I introduced you to the glory that is the DC supervillain codpiece?
Oh yes, you have.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
You showed it to me a few times, and then one day I was sitting at home alone, and I was like, "Codpiece." Chris keeps showing me Codpiece, so I just kind of like, "Oh wow, this guy's awesome." Yeah, I'm.
It's
familiar
actually
now. Okay.
it was actually Chris's cosplay of Codpiece. He kept sending you pictures of like, what do you
Oh,
think?
okay.
Just come on,
true.
just tell me what you think.
Come on, guys.
Stop making it
Come
weird.
on.
Miracle Man says it's like Snyder shot the flick through a wet t-shirt. That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah. When you're like, okay, all right. Look, there is a, we get into this a lot in the chat where we're like, we're talking about, another. You can't just casually mention it. So, like, yeah, codpiece, on your dick, PC. Anyways, dark and gritty, right? So the aspect ratio just didn't really work for me. Do you want to like talk about codpiece for like 5 minutes, Chris? You should.
So at the beginning of our podcast, once again, that's Fortress Comic News, everybody. We used to do this shitty villain of the week, and basically after a while, it ended because we ran out of shitty villains and we discovered Codpiece. So we hit the pinnacle. There's no reason to go on with it. Right. And Codpiece is a Doom Patrol villain who was he was in after the Grant Morrison run, which is even weirder to think about. That's not a Grant Morrison character.
I'll try to find it, Judah.
And his entire that's right. So it's Doom Patrol number 70. I have copies, everybody. And he was created by a woman named Rachel Pollack, who was actually like a very notable novelist. And it's this guy who has this suit with a codpiece on it that just has a giant cannon. And if you look up pictures of it, it's glorious because not only can he like just shoot bullets and shit out of it, but he can have like a little drill come out of it so he can crack into safes and shit. He's the greatest DC supervillain ever, and they never use him. Who brought that up?
Boom, share, shablam.
Right there.
There's a question from Not Near Mint. Does the codpiece have a giant gun that'll be more likely to blow your own cock off than hurt someone else?
Yeah, 100. Well, it's not going to blow your cock off. It's going to pulverize it into a pulp.
Well, that's why you wear a titanium cup, so it covers the balls and penis area,
and
so that
like
doesn't.
I've already been doing that.
Imagine like the skill, like to accurately aim your dick at something. Like,
we don't know men's ability to not even just like casually urinate into a giant hole. I don't know how I would do with bullets.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if it was extreme,
Snowflame is fantastic. There's a lot of really good bad DC supervillains. Snowflame is one of them. I think Floronic Man's another one who's made entirely out of marijuana because why not?
Sweet.
Yeah, so Snowflame's great too.
My God.
He literally snowed cocaine. Just goes, I'm going to commit a crime now, everybody.
Amazing.
Which is basically the 80s. So
it's basically Florida Man. Florida Man.
I had no idea what I was going to say before, but I'm really glad.
So the Snyder Cut, everybody.
Sorry, you asked me that really good question about like whether it was worth it.
Yeah.
Did you actually like it? Robo, did you like it? Like the movie as a whole?
I did. So let me tell you how my brain works real quick. And then Aramis, I want to hear from you. Here's how my brain works. It's like modes, right? It's like when I play a game on easy mode or like that. Usually the first time I watch a movie, I'm on straight like 11-year-old mode, right? It's just like, man, like colors. And it's like I'm like, oh, the movie's over. Suicide Squad, that was dope, right? And it was like, and then every time it was like, you liked it? And I'm like, yeah. Wait, Suicide Squad, like you saw it, pew, right? It was cool. And then it was like, and then it's like, yeah, but did you notice this? And I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me watch it again. And then I turn it up to like maybe like 19 or 20 years old, and then I'm like, wow. They're right. And then it just, as I keep watching, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So as I'm watching, I was forcing myself because I knew this show was happening. And then Blur Without Fear, he did one and he hates it, right? He hates it. And so he was like, damn. So I was able to like watch it, but not in the typical way that I usually. If I had watched it in typical fashion of like time to watch super, get some alcohol and plop down, and I probably would have enjoyed it. I probably would have took a couple naps along the way during the movie. And then as I woke up, I would have been like, man, this is cool. My favorite, well, I already said my favorite scene for Wonder Woman, but it was brought up earlier as an excess of slow motion. But I really, really fucking loved the Flash realizing he had to go back in time. And that whole fucking run and reaching through. And it was like,
that was cool.
I really, really liked that.
That was really cool. Yeah. I'd forgotten about that. That was cool.
That was a instance of using slow motion correctly.
Yeah. It was a lot of slow motion, but you needed it. You had to like watch, and he's running through space, and it almost looks like the Bifrost, and it was just like, this is dope.
Yeah.
Like my whole watching experience was like this, like just to reenact it. It was like this. Huh, cool. Yes. oh, fuck yeah. Woo!
Hey, you know that one meme that talks about dads who bitch about their kids sleeping in too late? Like, I was up at 7 a.m. this morning, but like the next panel is like that dude at 5 p.m. And then that was 4 hours. Come on. My son was watching with me, and Ben was like, Hey, wake up. Oh, what? No, I'm watching. Like, yeah, no, I know it's. Can you rewind it? Like, just rewind it like 5 minutes?
Yeah, I dozed off a few times throughout. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't go full doze, but there were some parts where I was just like, can't we get another scene? Can't we just go to the next fucking scene, please? Please, for the love of God, Martha. Jesus.
You know what I needed? I needed more cyborg brooding. And like the world's ending, like, but you made me a monster. And I'm like, come on,
I love cyborg brooding.
I hated cyber brooding. But I will say this for my fellow SJWs. I really, this is weird. I'm not even trying to be funny here. I really liked him crying in the car. Like I'm not even kidding. Like he was super upset that his dad's not his, and here he is, this fucking giant football player, and he's like, I'm like, yeah, that's normal. That you would cry like if you really fucking wish your dad loved you enough. And like when they saw that, I was like, oh shit, they like he's fucking crying. Like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, that's me. Like, I finally see myself in a movie.
In the Whedon cut, I really didn't give a shit about Cyborg. I just didn't think he was interesting at all. But I kind of kept it to myself just because I didn't want to like seem like the only character I don't like is the black guy. But in this one, he was like my favorite character because they just spend so much time like making him awesome and like complex and interesting and like moving. And I thought that was a major improvement.
All I know is that you immediately texted me and said, I hate Mara, Wonder Woman, Martha, and Cyborg.
Yeah. The only characters I like.
I'll just leave it at that. Said. And I was like, I don't know how to take this text, Judah. This is fucking shitty.
So to save Judah for a second, Aramis, what did you think?
So, 4 hours. Why was this thing 4 hours?
Naps.
Why?
I was raised in the dark.
But to go back on the Cyborg debate, I didn't like Cyborg. I didn't like him. I thought he was boring.
Yeah,
what about when he flies in? He flies in and lands when Wonder Woman goes to meet him like on some random street. Like that was dope.
I can't. Right? I hate his design. His design sucked. I didn't like it.
I'm glad you said that. Do you have more? Sorry.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
Okay. So I like to hear myself talk. So
that's why we do this.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Like it's not that I hate his design, but whenever I see him like in full, like I'm like, I feel like it's realistic. It would be, right? There's no reason to put bulk on a machinery, that, right? I mean, we see how the actual real life robot goes, but with his like weird robotic, I want how the comic books do it, where he looks like he has a normal, like beefy human body, but it's just made out of metal. But in the movie, he has like these weird skinny parts on his legs, and it's like. It's like, okay, it's realistic. I get it, but it just looks weird. I'm with you. I don't really.
Did you see when the extra fists materialized out of his back and started?
I saw that. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that Cyborg was peak in the classic Teen Titans cartoon.
Yeah. I like it. You talking about the one where they tried to be serious, or the one where they were trying to be funny?
Do I need to answer that one?
The serious one. Go is the one you're thinking of.
Okay, Go. Yeah.
So there was Teen Titans, then there was Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, is that?
Yeah. So he's just saying Teen Titans.
Yeah,
I think Teen Titans Go is one. Yeah.
I've like seen like one episode of Teen Titans Go, and it wasn't for me.
Hot take.
Nanderman says, so when you were doing your like, huh. That was not near mint, but yours was even more exciting.
The not near mint version was just.
Why am I doing this to myself?
Why?
So I'll say overall with this, like I felt like there's two ways to really go about it. If I'm judging it based on the like comparing it to the Whedon version, I think it's significantly better. I liked it way more. And I would rather have this than what Whedon gave us, or whatever the Frankenstein monster that Whedon gave us.
100%.
100%.
Yep.
But if let's say that never exists and this is what we got, or at least the version that's 2.5 to 45, I still think it has the same flaws. Like, you still rushed into a Justice League movie. It still doesn't have heart. It's missing things. I agree with you. Cyborg's a little better, but I still don't think Cyborg's a good character.
Mm-hmm.
I think all in all, this movie was an astounding meh.
I do want to take a moment to appreciate the fact that Steppenwolf became Stepped on Wolf.
I liked it when Wonder Woman cut off his head.
Okay.
She cuts off his
Alright,
head. He
got
goes
it.
through the portal.
That's me.
Darkseid steps on him.
I did cheer when Aquaman, my boy, grabs him with the trident and just lifts him up. I'm just like, yeah, get him, Aquaman.
Yeah, that's sweet.
How about that Mera power? I've been saying this shit since the Avatar, the water bending. She did it. She did the thing that
Oh
I've been
yeah,
telling
like sucking the blood out.
Yeah, and then even blood was coming out. Like that's dope. I didn't like how quickly he just kind of like, okay, all of my moisture is coming out of my body.
It's funny you say that, Robert, because like watching it, I was thinking about you bringing that up in some Aquaman review we did. Like, wouldn't you have the power to? Because like people are 70% water or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
But imagine so much water's coming out of you, so much that now blood is coming out, right? And if I could just slap you around real quick to like get over that, I imagine of course, this is like a superpowered demon dude. Like, okay, I got it. But I just feel like he's still been reacting to punches. So there's some sort of physiological limitation to him that as soon as she stops, she's like, okay, we're good. Let's do this.
Yeah.
No, she was pulling blood out of your mouth. Come on.
I wish they showed that in greater detail. Like, that was like so fast. Like, this is the first time I realized that that's what was happening. I just thought that she put bubbles around his face. Like, that's what it looked like.
It looked like his eyes and shit were melting. It was cool for that split second.
Just like bubbles around his face. I was like,
from that perspective, that's a super lame power. Like, here, splash, splash. Gotcha.
Like I saw him go like, oh, I was like,
I bet you that's annoying, isn't it?
Those bubbles must have been really, really obnoxious. So yeah, now that I know that that's what it was, I'm like, oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eva, welcome. She
says,
Eva. My favorite line was when Superman finally shows him like, "You're the bad guy." I'm not impressed.
That was cool. That was really cool. Superman beating the fuck out of Steppenwolf was pretty dope. I really enjoyed that. Just bam, just fucking beating him senseless.
Yep, that's right.
That was cool.
Polly, you're right, and I didn't mean you're right. Correction, when I brought up Avatar, I meant earthbending. I feel like all the iron in your blood, earthbenders should be able to pull that out and then kill you. But you're right. Thanks for that. I could always count on you to make sure everyone knows I'm a fucking idiot.
Just for the record, Magneto did it first.
That's right.
There's a lot of iron in your blood.
I don't know why I clicked that, but let's read it anyway. Sailor Mercury fights with bubbles. Stop pulling him out. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my god, that would be so annoying.
Steppenwolf like, stop. I'm so annoyed right now. I'm so annoyed. I'm losing. I'm so fucking annoyed. Valid power.
What do we decide as our scale? We'll do like a 1 out of 10 somethings.
6 slow-mos.
Okay, yeah. You're giving it 6. You're giving it.
No,
not doing a 1 out of 6 scale.
That's
give it a. Let's do like 1 out of 13. Out of 1 out of 13, how many slow-mos?
Okay. 10 out of 10. The 10 slow-mo scale. Okay.
All right.
Start with Ree.
I'd give it a 6.5.
Whoa.
Wow, that's fresh.
I'm literally surprised.
That's a fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is it? Okay. There you go. Congrats, Snyder. You're welcome.
Aramis.
Okay,
go back to the old voice.
4 slow-mos, 1 for each hour.
Okay.
That's fair. And just below average. Mr. Runt.
I kind of want to say 6.51 just to piss off Ree, but no.
This is not the price right. You're good.
God damn it!
This motherfucker.
I'd probably give it a 7 because I would probably give the Whedon one a 6, and I like this more than that, so I'd probably give it in there.
That's generous. Whedon run.
All right. I'll give it a solid 6 because The Whedon, I would give a 4. And so better, but still too long, and all the other things we've already talked about. I'll give it a solid 6 slow-mos.
Okay. I think I'm around.
Slow-mos.
I think I'm around the average here. I would give it. I would give it 7 slow-mos. It was not good enough to be like. I'll never watch it again. That's the thing. It wasn't good enough for me to ever watch it again.
Yeah.
Maybe in 10 years, or maybe I'll show my kids the movie someday. But that's like the next time I'm watching it.
Why
But
would you torture your kids?
well, there's a lot of cool parts, and that's really what saves it for me. Is like the underground fight, the fight at the end, the Wonder Woman in the bank scene. Those are pretty much the only cool parts. Now that I think of the underwater fight, like those fights were legit. Those were A-class fights, but the movie around those fights was like not bad, but just medium for me. So
that is correct. Suicide Squad would actually not be a 1 to 3. It'd be like a -10 because that piece of shit needs to die in a fire.
Yeah, that was a terrible movie. That was an awful movie.
Anybody with hashtag bring back the air cut or whatever it is, just stop.
Yeah.
Stop using the internet.
Yeah.
It's not for you.
You cannot. You obviously cannot be trusted with this power. So,
Well, plus, I mean, our Lord and Savior Polka Dot Man is going to save the Suicide Squad, so we don't need to worry about it anymore, guys.
Fuck yeah.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Let's
Everybody, let's hope. Let's hold our breath. Holding our breath. Hey, real quick in the chat, give a one-liner real quick about what you guys think about. Give it your slow mos as we wrap up here.
Better yet, make a haiku about the movie. We'll wait.
7 hours later. Hey,
Just
Chris,
haiku rules again. No,
can
never
you
mind.
talk a little bit about your podcast and what you do while they're giving us some stuff? Are you
Who would you direct that to? I'm sorry.
Chris? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, we do Fortress Comic News, our flagship podcast. Much like these guys here, it's all about comic book news. We go through all the news from the week every Monday night. You'll get on whatever podcatcher you use. It also hits YouTube over at youtube.com/fortresscomics. And we every week interview a different creator. So last week we had Travis Gibb on the show, good buddy of mine who recently created Cthulhu Invades Oz, which I'm on the back of. So
all right.
that was really cool. Fucking life goal of mine right there. We've had Ricardo Delgado, who created Age of Reptiles. He's got a book out right now. And we got more coming. We got some really cool ones. So that's our flagship show. And then if you want to watch our Batman Animated Series podcast, Bat Friends podcast, we have that as well. Right now we're going through the new Batman Adventures. And that show's really bad. So we're having a real terrible time. But soon we're going to make it to Batman Beyond. We'll have fun again. But yeah, check that show out too.
Is that with lipless Joker?
Yes. He doesn't have any. Yeah.
No lips.
Everything in that show. Every design in that show is terrible. Why does Scarecrow have a noose around his neck? It makes no goddamn sense.
Because he's the Scarecrow.
Because Scarecrow. How do you hang?
It doesn't.
It's like a Scarecrow, you know?
Doesn't make any sense.
That's a joke.
And then we got our videos on YouTube too. So I do the top 5 new comics for every week. That's actually live right now if you want to check out the newest one. And I've been doing more comic reviews, which apparently people like because they get traffic.
Woo.
And yeah, and then I do stuff like this once in a while. Hang out with Judah and Robo and Ree. Well, not Ree. Ree doesn't like me, but
Is this the first time?
This is the first time.
Oh,
Why did you say that name?
Why did you say that name? Ray. You're the second person who earlier, Not Near Mint said another great YouTube channel, by the way, was like, finally Ree says something. I feel like at least 90% of our viewers is just to hear Ree. So
Yeah, I think 110%. If we're being
generous, like, hey, are you guys ever gonna die and just Reed just does it? Because that would be really good for your brand.
I'm working on it.
So,
Slowly, day by day.
Polly, I think we all learned a valuable lesson. No one needs any original cuts, especially when Terrio is involved. Terrio is the writer of this movie. What is it? Matt Terrio or Dave Terrio. I don't even know.
Something.
Ainsley wrote an actual haiku.
Oh yes, where is it? Hold on. Asher gives it
nice.
2 slow-mos. Wow, Asher did not like this movie.
That's fair,
there's-
Asher. I get it.
That's bad.
Where's Ainsley's? Oh, boom, there it is. The Justice League film is not something I have watched and probably won't. Very nice.
That is good. I
Paul
choked up
gives
a
it
little.
three.
I choked up a little. Beautiful.
Eva, you're correct. Ricardo is amazing. If anyone out there does not know Ricardo Delgado, you're living life incorrectly. Go check out the man's work. He's awesome.
That's awesome. That's good shit. That's good shit. Let's go, Eva. You got
Eva,
no, 100%. We agree.
I love you.
We agree. We agree.
We agree.
We're riding in on our coattails.
like
That's
like
what
a,
we do.
So
like a,
nice
like
on
a
the
year
chat.
ago. This is a true story. A year ago, she had done a couple. And we saw the value already. If she did a couple, she goes. So I mean, I don't have to be on every show. I can help out with the website. And we're both like, did that thing. No, be on the website.
Oh.
I mean, be on the show. Be on the show. Yeah, he's not.
And then we lost like 1 million subscribers. It was so weird. It was like this weird coincidence.
Like, oh, what is that? It's like British, but not.
Not. What is that? Well,
We need to get Michael back on the show, actually. You need some
do.
more Brits on here.
We do. We need a little bit of that class, that elegance.
All
Nice.
right,
That's
mate.
for true. Hey,
You're right.
How much, mate?
what? This right here is class. I wish he was here because there's like a part of me that's like, oh, he's not here, so now
Yeah.
I feel bad. I do this to his face if anybody wants to know.
That's right. We abuse him all the time, not just behind his back.
He thinks ham's bacon. I mean, come on now. So
Ham is bacon. I'll find you.
oh god, you too. What?
It's all
Oh my
of the
God.
Commonwealths. Every
No.
single Commonwealth
All
is
the
really
Commonwealth,
confused
no.
about what
This
bacon is.
ridiculous definition of bacon. Anyway,
Listen, America is the center of the world. You do it our way, Bree.
Have you not
It's true,
seen
I've seen the maps.
What's
So, Polly, you're talking to an old man here, 32-year-old man. What the fuck is Tross Man? Because all I see is Chris, then Tross Man.
The Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what did you think
Yeah.
it was? Hey, Tross Man.
I don't know. I thought I was being called something like a cracker or something. I don't know.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm fine with
we
it.
wouldn't
It's
do that
fine.
to your face. All right. I think is anybody. Oh, by the way,
Oh,
Aramis.
okay. Chris Terrio. Okay.
Aramis, thank you for coming out. If anybody doesn't know, the person who is most in our Discord when we are absent, when we go AWOL and we're like, oh shit, I forgot we had an AWOL. I mean, I forgot we had a Discord. It's usually because Aramis has been like, hey, are you guys alive? Like, yes, here we are. Let's chat in here for a little bit. So thank you for coming on the show, and thank you for the work that you put into the Discord.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you. You're the best.
It's a lot of. I like Discord.
Yeah, I think more people should use it. I think more people should be in it and chit chat. I know that Fortress Comics has a little room, and now Near Mint has a little room, and if you're
Discord
fans,
changed my life for the better.
yeah,
Yours
and
too.
if you change,
We're going to be talking Falcon and Winter Soldier spoilers in there, probably.
we have a
after
room for
this.
spoilers. You
Yeah.
don't have to wait.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, can we talk about that show? It was dope.
It was dope.
Yes,
Do
and
it.
the
So dope.
ending is it? What do you? Is anybody? Do we do spoilers?
All right,
No
here's the deal,
spoilers.
everybody.
No
We're
spoilers.
going into spoilers on Falcon Winter Soldier. You don't like it? Leave. You've been warned.
Bye. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Hey,
The part-
so what's funny is that Ree has 100% has done that. We have a Facebook that just goes, and then we're just like, I love this show.
Ree has left the tap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Not everybody has seen it. Okay.
I
Falcon
almost
Winter
made that
Soldier.
same
No,
joke
I'll-
today. I haven't seen
To
it,
kinda-
but I'll listen to you guys talk about it.
To kind of skate around it, the ending, yeah, like I thought it ended perfectly, and what
Mhm.
appeared in that last moment, I loved everything that led up to it. Just you took two of my favorite side characters of all time, Bucky and Sam. Huge Cat fan, if anyone doesn't know. And you gave them their own show, and you did such great character moments with them. Like even Bucky just sitting there in the Chinese restaurant, and he grabs the little cat's hand and he stops it. And I was just like, I love that. That's such a Bucky thing. Like I love it.
I had such a like reaction when I found out that that guy that he killed in that earlier flashback scene was the son of that. I was like, oh, that's why he spends time with that guy. Oh, that's sad.
Because I was thinking that was a guy from like back in the day in Brooklyn, and
I thought he's been alive so long that he was like, I only hang out with old guys now. Those are the only people that I relate to. That's what I thought.
I'm calling you right now. Fox vs. Mutants are confirmed. I just want to throw it out there. From the first episode, we're gonna get mutants. Watch.
I think it's Mephisto.
100%.
Yeah, it's
I'm pretty sure, damn sure it's Mephisto.
So the last character there. What do you think? What are you guys thinking?
Real quick, I have a theory about mutants. If anyone's read the Ultimate Universe, mutants are created by the government. Blah blah blah. So I think you're right. I don't know if it's going to show up in this show, but I think it's going to be connected to the events of the show where like somehow the government is involved and they end up creating the mutants. So we won't get Logan in World War II, but that's fine. I mean, whatever. But they could introduce him in that fashion, which I think would be really cool.
I think it's the only way. I know Aaron, Judah, I know Polly, I know everybody is totally okay with they've always been here. They've just kept to themselves because that was the safest thing to do. I get it. I just don't. I feel like I don't like it. For me, the believability is like the attack on New York. All this shit's happening. Everybody with superpowers is like, nope. I don't know.
Yeah. What were you asking about the ending before I went on my tangent?
Judah. Yeah. So who do you think that is? Judah says U.S. agent.
It's US. Yeah. 100%.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
All right. Well, okay.
Yeah, that's been confirmed already. Yeah.
What, you fucking idiot. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
No. What the fuck?
No. Funny story. I was buying a bunch of back issues years ago, trying to fill out some of my cap run, and a lot of the stuff I didn't have was U.S. Agent surrounding. So I bought a bunch of it. I got his first appearance, blah blah, John Walker, and all that. And then literally the day after I called my co-host Mike, was like, oh man, I got the first appearance of John Walker. I'm really happy, blah blah. He's like, did you see the news? Because they just announced him on the show, and the book just went boop right up in price. And I was like, oh wow, my timing.
Wow, good call. Very nice.
Nice. Wait.
We believe there could be vampires and werewolves, so why not mutants? Because
but vampires, But then we also got the categories of mutants that can't hide their appearances. So do they all live on the ground permanently?
Vampires, I can see why you would stay away and not long to be in the spotlight because the sun burns you. Werewolves, you only come out during the moon. I think the only two ways to do mutants is either Secret Wars it and bring them back from another dimension, or the government created them and then they were just a new thing.
I mean, for me, it's not a huge stretch that they're hated and feared. The mutants have been hated and feared, and they just want no business dealing with. I mean, the Eternals. The Eternals have been around for thousands of years. We're about to find that out, and they definitely didn't get involved in the Battle of New York either.
There's a lot fewer of them,
but they're also gods. Like they're above all of this. They're not just regular people who got powers. So it's.
I mean, one thing I was thinking is because they do show the original Human Torch briefly in the Captain America, the First Avenger. They just show him standing there at the World's Fair, and I thought that was pretty dope little cameo. But what would be super dope is if they had almost like a Invaders thing that happened after Captain America got frozen, and just have one of the other Captain, the later Golden Age Captain America that they retconned to be some other dude, just have him be the Captain America of the Invaders, and then Namor gets introduced, and there's your first mutant. You know what I mean?
Oh, don't bring that. I hate that storyline.
You don't like that? You don't like Namor being a mutant?
So in my head canon, that story never happened. Namor is not a mutant. I don't like that.
Toro's a mutant too.
Toro, fine. I mean, whatever. But The Namor thing visibly bugs me. Like I really don't like that story arc.
What do you think about Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch not being mutants then?
I think that's going to get retconned. I think WandaVision, if we're talking about the MCU, I think that WandaVision did kind of retcon that because you started to see that she got her powers a little bit younger and maybe she stopped the missile. So
which does mean that mutants have been around for a while.
If she's a mutant,
yeah.
There's
a point, but then it's also how you could have it both ways. You could say there's an X gene, and maybe they could have something. But then, how did she really become Scarlet Witch? Nazis experimented on her. So why not? Like we found these people this weird gene. Let's do some experiments, and now they got bone claws. Like
But then there's never going to be Apocalypse is like the original mutant, and forget about that stupid ass movie. Apocalypse is a badass comic book character. It would suck to have that not just be a possibility. You know what I mean? You'd be losing something. We'll see. I don't think it would take much. And the Battle of New York, we didn't see the Ancient One fighting Shatari until they went back in time. So shit was happening that was off camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's also I'm zoning on the villain for the next wave. Kang. So Kang's the villain. So here's how you do Apocalypse. Russian government creates Apocalypse. Kang steals them, goes back in time. Bam, Egypt.
Russia.
Ooh. Oh, and then that's how the X gene first was introduced, and that's why mutants exist. I don't know.
Yeah, and then he's been stuck in a fucking pyramid forever, and goes boom. Hey, I'm here, everybody.
And he's huge, not skinny. He's like fucking massive, like he is in the comics.
You sound like you write books.
I attempt to, but they cost money to write. Everybody go buy Battle Monsters so I can write another one.
Please.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, thanks to Aramis and Chris for joining us. It was awesome having you guys. And Aramis, this is your first time streaming with us, so that was awesome. Definitely want to have both of you guys again and again and again until we get shut down, which any day now, you know.
Well, if my face is shown on live, it will. Your channel will get shut down.
Okay.
So.
Well, then I appreciate the mask.
I appreciate the mask. Yeah.
I appreciate the mask.
He's Osama bin Laden.
Aramis has actually been Ryan Reynolds this whole time, but he's just
he's a complete god. Just completely just like, oh, hey.
So I'm just saying, guys, there's a movie in 2 weeks about a monkey who fights a giant lizard.
Woo!
I'm just saying.
It's almost like we should do this again.
Thick boy.
I'd be down for that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we should definitely do this for Godzilla vs. Kong. Big time.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
As long as nobody minds my massive erection when Mecha Godzilla shows up, because that's going to happen.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I've had a massive
and they're going to team up.
They're going to have to team
up.
Thanks, Reed.
Yeah.
What is the you're going to change the aspect ratio of your cameras? That would be, or it's just going to be like right here. It'd just be like right at the bottom of the screen.
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh, his erection. Sorry, I thought we were still on. Can we move on? Is that bad timing?
Robo, if it's glorious enough, I got to show it off, right? So
hey guys, this is sweet.
Hey guys.
Thank you for saving that. I thought I missed it. That's
Let's just all have dick cameras next episode.
What are you talking about right now?
Why don't we just draw faces on our
what?
That's all that's on screen.
Missed this? What were you saying, Aaron? Sorry. I'm still on Chris's penis.
Not a sentence I've heard much in my life.
I was giving you the opportunity to unsay my real name and call me Judah. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who is this?
Who's this person you're addressing?
I use my government name.
No. We should do IFLC, the penis special, where it's only dicks with little faces drawn on them, and we can just kind of like move them to make them talk. I think that'd be great.
I think the channel's getting shut down today.
Yeah. If it was Twitch, we probably would be. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. YouTube
Maybe.
YouTube is a little weird. So weird.
They don't like that penis talk on
I'm
Twitch.
too gay for this.
Yeah. Can we move off the penis thing? It's not funny. It's not funny. Hey,
So everybody,
like-
cocks. Oh, sorry, we're moving on. I'm sorry.
Ladies, gentlemen, MVs, that is the end of our show. Thank you for coming out and listening to us bitch and praise and whatever about Zack Snyder's whatever the fucking Justice League cut thing. We will do this again. We just decided like 30 seconds ago that we're gonna watch Godzilla versus Kong, and we'll do it again. But we will also be doing other stuff with interviews and our live show on Wednesday.
Sophia Campbell, and Nocente. We got some cool people that are going to be on our show.
Yep.
And others.
Yep. So thank you, Chris, for coming on. Thank you, Aramis, for coming on.
Thank you.
And we're out of here.
Bye.